Yeah, give me a minute. This damn thing won't act crazy today. Saying anything. Give me a second. What's going on? Having some technical difficulties.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connection successful. Concerning, and this is the second parable concerning those who deny the name of the dwelling place. See,
Okay, there.
The Secret Teachings of All Ages, an encyclopedic outline of Masonic, Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and Rosicrucian symbolical philosophy, being an interpretation of the secret teachings concealed within the rituals, allegories, and mysteries of the ages, by Manly P. Hall. Preface. Numerous volumes have been written as commentaries upon the secret systems of philosophy existing in the ancient world, but the ageless truths of life, like many of the earth's greatest thinkers, have usually been clothed in shabby garments. The present work is an attempt to supply a tome worthy of those seers and sages whose thoughts are the substance of its pages. To bring about this coalescence of beauty and truth has proved most costly, but I that the result will produce an effect upon the mind of the reader which will more than justify the expenditure. The text of this volume begun the first day of January 1926 and has continued almost for over 2 years. The greater part of which work was carried on prior to the manuscript. The collection of reference material was begun in 1821, and 3 years later the plans took definite form. For the sake of clarity, all footnotes were eliminated, the various quotations and references of other authors being embodied text in their logical order. The bibliography is appended primarily to assist those interested in selecting for future study the most authoritative and important items dealing with philosophy and symbolism. To make readily accessible the abstruse information contained in the book, an elaborate topical cross-index is included. I make no claim for either the infallibility or the originality of any statement herein contained. I have studied the fragmentary writings of the ancients sufficiently to realize that dogmatic utterances concerning their tenets are worse than foolhardy. Traditional.
We're going to open this discussion with a few lines from Rudyard Kipling. Had a teapot and let it leak. Not repairing made it worse. Now we owe tea for a week, and the bottom's out of the universe. This is more or less the subject of our discussion. What's happened to the bottom of the universe? Always down to history. Minorities have ruled, and today only 10% of mankind, maybe less, is administering the other 90%. Very seldom having any direct contact with the needs and problems of that vast majority. Therefore, at this time, it is about the proper moment to remind everyone that the greatest of all the world's potential resources is the human being himself. We are the one important factor in the survival of our way of life. We are also, to a large degree, important for the survival of anything else on the earth, and perhaps for the earth itself. And yet this tremendous common sense majority has little or nothing to say about the causes and procedures of our civilization. We are completely controlled by a small group of professionals. Now, these professionals are not necessarily evil. They are not necessarily foolish, but they are not in direct contact with the world they serve. They have gradually isolated themselves in ivory towers of intellectual superiority and gazed down rather benignly, if at all, upon the world which they are supposed to regulate. They are simply incapable of the job. In the last 50 years, we've had the greatest advancements in science and education the world has ever known, and we're in the worst condition it's ever been in. It is because our entire attitude toward survival has very little basic contact with the essential humanity which it is supposed to guide, direct, and enhance. There is a new humanism that is coming up, which it seems to me is well worth consideration, and that is the dignity, right, power, and authority of the folk. The folk is the mass of people, and in its own natural environment and with reasonable consideration, this folk is nearly always right. There is some basic value there, which expresses itself through the simple and natural interests of average persons. The average individual wishes to be a good parent, a good and a good child. He wants to live in a happy environment. He does not really cherish animosities. He is not addicted to the desire to be killed in war, nor is he intentionally dedicated to industrialism, which gives him no opportunity to be. So all situation means that the leaders are out of touch with their followings, and the followings, for the most part, have lost acceptances of this. We do not want the condition to continue as it is, and not allow it to go on. We must search for new sources of solution. At the present moment, we are depending upon science to develop the nuclear resources of the world, but they have found no way of disposing of the nuclear waste which threatens to destroy it all. Thus, an attitude which permits this to occur, that exceeds or excels its capacity to dominate the consequences of its contacts and contributions, is simply no longer suitable to leadership. There has to be changes. And these changes can only occur when the human being realizes his inalienable right to be human, and that he has within himself potentials that are far more real than any of the intellectual superstructure upon which he depends today. Man internally is part of the universe. He is part of the enormous fusion of energies. He is as much part of the great plan as a star or a meteor or a comet. He is, if he can go within himself far enough, he can find the laws of his own survival. but he has refused to have the opportunity to have this researching within himself. The moment he arrives in this world, he comes under the influence of this strange leadership of infallible, all been affected. He goes, is not taught to think. He is not to use his own resources. He is told to read the textbook and come to the same answer. If he does not come to that answer, he will not graduate. And if he will not graduate or does not graduate from school, then he cannot enter the institutions of higher learning. And if he doesn't enter those and become proficient in the beliefs that they hold and become a willing perpetuator of the status quo, if he will not do all these things, he is an outcast. He is then regarded as simply being a mediocre person wandering around in vagaries. This type of situation is getting to be a little too difficult. We are all sympathetic as we see these great monuments rise to human ingenuity. We realize how young people can become utterly fascinated with computers, how they can also become entranced with the possibility of making a trip someday to the moon. These things are tremendous inducements and are passed off constantly as indications of progress. But no one is paying any attention to the sewerage. Out of these predicaments that we are passing through is a vast byproduct of waste, a byproduct of danger, of war, a byproduct of epidemical diseases, of disturbance of Earth's balance, of disruption of crops. All these things are the results of unthought out programs in which no one is interested in doing anything except landing on a planet somewhere else, and has no time or thought to take care of the planet that we live on today. Now, it's very hard to convince people that we should be more thoughtful in these matters. But as press report after each other, and many of them, show the difficulties and the dangers of all these situations brought home to us almost every day. Something should be done. But the great remote body of the approved professionals does not pay any attention to these rumors at all. They arise from the unenlightened, whereas those of special privileges and special educational dedications go right on adding to the mess. So out of it, I think we have to find out where we stand in relation to ourselves. We have been given a terrible inferiority complex. The average individual bows hopeless and helplessly before the wisdom of the elect. He is afraid to express himself because he will open his environment ridicule. He is not sure of himself because he has been talked down from the time he was old enough to read and write. He is therefore in a confused state and has forgotten that of all the devices that man has developed, he will never develop one as important, which was bestowed upon him by nature himself. This is the burden that we have to study more and more carefully these days. If we are looking for solutions for problems, there is no use looking where problems are being made and never solved. If we want to find out how to survive, we must gradually discover what is threatening our survival and do what we can to correct it.
Hey, you.
Somewhere within the individual, if he digs deeply into himself, there is a mysterious faculty that perhaps we can call common sense. It is in likelihood the basic qualities of mind. It is that intellection which has been given to all of us by a power greater than ourselves. The mind is an instrument to be used, not to be abused.
I figured find this rather interesting book.
Its uses must always solve something. Its abuses must always tear down something. Now, the mind being a mysterious instrument which no one has been able to accurately define, and our higher professionals do not even attempt it, because to do so they would be forced to examine causes and factors they wish to ignore. But the mind remains as the one saving hope in this particular emergency. Somewhere within each individual is a kind of solutional power which should be cultivated instead of inhibited. The moment we find that a child has a mind to think with, we should help it to think with that mind. Thinking is very different from accepting somebody else's thoughts. Thinking is not to be gained simply by reading a textbook and agreeing with the author, or for that, disagreeing with the author. The real fact of it is that every effort today is made to prevent the actual active positive use of the mind. It is being cultured to become an instrument. We are trying to make the mind into a robot. We want to have a mind that will serve situations that are essentially false. We want a mind that will agree with the prevailing policy, even though that policy is going nowhere. Actually, therefore, each of us must become capable of using the mind with which we have been endowed by a life greater than our own. Actually, the tendency to break away from the conventional and the conservative is growing every day. We are more and more aware that we are the victims of something that is. We realize as we stand closer and closer to the possible wars of the worlds that have been well dramatized in motion pictures, we know something is wrong, or these conditions would not and could not exist. They do not exist because humanity as a group wants them, or that they serve humanity in any way. They have continued because groups of ambitious persons want to play chess with the human destiny.
There you go.
They are not concerned with trying to solve problems. They are inclined only to consider the possibility of further advancements in some highly specialized structure of munitional warfare. They are interested only in digging in and finding more abstract theories which they can turn to the advantage of limited groups. Now, these minds have formed a partnership, or if they haven't formed it, it has occurred naturally, with other walks of life, which feed into this monopoly. These other walks of life, for example, one of them is the psychosis of wealth. They have tried to make the human being subservient to a colossal ignorance simply by offering a reward. They have taken the attitude that if we will follow the leadership of the self-appointed leaders, they will help to make us rich, will help to make us famous, and will help us to become dyspeptics, or in one way or another destroy the body in which we live. Actually, we are told that if we think for ourselves, we will be poor. If we think as we are told to think by the elect, we may retire as vice presidents of some monopoly and have a grandfather's clock presented to us in recognition of 45 years of faithful service. My uncle got one of those clocks. But the years of faithful service due to him. It destroyed in him the entire structure of individuals. He did what he was told. He went to office every day. He followed the rules exactly. He had a fair living and was able to support his family. And he passed out of his life at the end of 83 years, actually having thought anything through for himself. He had no idea of the world he lived in, and for him, pleasure and success was to be able to take a ride in a sailboat. Now, this is what has been gradually happening. The sailboat has now become a yacht, a land yacht, and living has now gone into the multiple figures, so that the elite can hardly get $1 million a year. But with all this money, what is being solved? Nothing. The individual in his wealth goes down to sickness and death, and the more money he has, the more extravagant his death will be. So we are in a bind, and those who are supposed to get us out of the bind are getting us further into it. So the problem arises that more and more there are rebellions, revolts, revolutions, in which individuals are tired. We are mistreated by those who are pretending to be our superiors. We are not referring now to political superiors, not referring to who become dictators, to those ragged and rugged who lead bandits through the hinterland. We are referring more directly to the type of leadership which, under one guise or another, prevents us from growing out of the disasters which have been created for us. Now, they will almost always say, of course, that we made these disasters for ourselves. There was no reason why we could live well in spite of the upper crust with its eternal problems. The answer to the thing is it doesn't work quite like that. The moment we fail to come, we are penalized. It is not a case of where we are better off by trying to be ourselves. We are told, and it is proven to us, that if we break the pattern, if we do not follow the mistakes of the ages, we will be in tragic conditions now, and there will be no remedy. In other words, if we want to go out and beg for world peace, this is a kind of treason for which we will be penalized not only by the leaders, but by those whom they have indoctrinated right down to members of our own families. The whole situation is out of hand. But inside of us, there is still this humanity. There is a power inside of the person, which is the only possible solution to the problem. Each child coming into the world should regard it as an inalienable right that he has the privilege and the right and the inalienable need to become a person, to think, to use the faculties that he has gained in other previous ends. Certainly he comes into the world capable of a contribution. But in order to make that contribution, he must now go through an elaborate process of having his individuality killed and being forced to recognize that individuality is dangerous to all of the material advantages which he hopes to gain from life. There was one comforting thought, however, and that is that these advantages that he is suffering so much to maintain are themselves failing, and by degrees every advantage is being wiped out by a corresponding disadvantage which threatens the survival of the race. Back somewhere in the old days, we wonder sometimes how civilization started. How did we begin this strange, curious, and complicated journey down through time? Who started it off? And where in the world did the great foundations of our knowledge come from? Who were the first scholars? Who painted the first picture? Who wrote the first piece of music? Who was the first to find means of healing the sick, or of creating a code of laws for the benefit of humanity? We're not sure, but we know that these things did not come from some privileged overclass. They came through the recognition of the necessities of survival. When Hammurabi created the great code Babylon, which was to become the basis of every moral and ethical code that ever followed, he was not able to simply copy it from something earlier. It came out of the ordinary practices of the day. He lived in a world that as we live in it, much more restricted, but still there were the token symbols of everything's going to come. So he found out that people shotted their goods, that they cheated each other, that when they built a house, they did not put in the materials they had purchased. When they said they would do something, they did not keep their word. When no one was looking, they stole something. When someone else was not looking, somebody stole a man's wife. All the way along, there were injustices. So to meet the injustice, Hammurabi created a code of ethics. He said very simply, you stole, you'll have to put it back and be punished. If the house doesn't stand up, the man who built it will be penalized, and if he does not make a good correction, we'll toss him in prison. Little by little, these common errors were smoked out, not because some one individual was greatly concerned in solving the problems, but because most people couldn't live with the problems until something was done about them. In the Spartan system, Lycurgus became a very prominent figure. He found that the Spartans were rich and powerful and luxury, that they were now trotting about as though they owned the earth, that their morals were getting worse as their prosperity grew greater. So he decided to put the whole thing back into its old pattern, the way it was. And he created a system so strict in Sparta that he cut crime down to virtually nothing. And it was very simple. When difficulties arose, they were looked over carefully, and whoever was blamed had the book thrown at him. Probably a rock at that time. And he was punished properly. He couldn't hire a lawyer to get out of it. He couldn't talk himself out of it. He had to face the consequence of his own actions. And also, Lycurgus made self-discipline and the curtailment of luxuries the basis of national strength. Now, we don't particularly want to follow his example, but it doesn't seem that luxury today is improving as much. In fact, we are now suffering from all the ailments that Lycurgus decided he was going to cure. And for 500 years, he did cure them. And after he was gone, the process was continued, and for a long time, Sparta was more or less a well-disciplined, orderly, low-crime country. But of course, that was long ago. We are supposed to get these things and not to realize how our forebears solved problems. The great intellectuals tell us, oh, don't worry about the past. We've outgrown all those homely laws. They'll look to the future. And now people are beginning to look toward the future. They don't like what they see because the future doesn't look very attractive. If, however, we realize that back in those days, when the tribal chieftain made the rules, when some oracle spoke decisions of state, and where all the legislators bowed before the altars of their gods and depended upon divine but for the perpetuation of their priestly and princely activities, things were quite a bit different. They were never perfect. Things that were happening all the way along that could have helped. In the midst of all of this, we also had the Mosaic Code. Now, Moses was not a graduate with a 5-year Kappa key. Moses was a wandering shepherd. Jesus never went to the university. But his rules, laws, and principles were greater, more noble, and more enduring than all of the accumulated intellectualism of the last 2,000 years. And out of it all has come a tremendous moral influence on mankind. Between Moses Moses and Jesus, the foundation of the West, were established. Both of these were simple persons, comparatively unknown in their own time, not elite of any particular branch, but persons who had discovered the power of the individual to be right and what that power could do in the long run of human destiny. So we have these codes, but as they interfere with our present programs of progress, we have a tendency to deny them. It is easy for the intellectual to refer to the mythologies of religion. It is very possible for the physicist to assume that the idea of God is an escape mechanism of the unintelligent. But at the same time, this escape mechanism was an escape, and the situation we're setting up doesn't seem to have an escape. We do not find the answers. We do not find something better to take the place of that which has been gradually run down by sophistry. We are not solving these problems. There are trends that are showing up, and I think perhaps our international situation is going to contribute somewhat to them, in which the facts are becoming undeniable, and where we are no longer going to listen to the thing that we have been hearing for so long. We're not going to allow education to simply prepare us to be animated robots. That we are not going to fall into the old patterns and stay there forever. Even 50 years ago, we had mental freedoms we do not have today, and our debts were much than they are now. The efforts to pass on a sophisticated theory of life has dismally failed. It was discovered that this fact was clearly proven in the recent effort of the People's Republic of China to make the great leap into futurity. They made the leap and fell flat on their faces. It was a dismal failure. They had decided to cut off forever all relations to the past. We're not going to listen to the sages of old anymore. They were going to become completely emancipated. They were going to live only for the future, under the dictate of a small group of politicians. The thing was so tragic that it will probably never be repeated again, because no one had nerve to go through it. And so, in the end of the great leap into future, Confucius returned and became one of the most powerful forces in the development of modern Chinese communist policy. The same happened in the Tibetan misery. The Chinese are now apologizing for it. All of these great moves, these tremendous upsurges of power, this determination to conquer somebody or destroy them, this willingness to sacrifice men, women, and children for the advancement of some kind of political theory. This type of life is not productive of anything except distress. Now, we're not in the moment likely to have a grand emancipation from all this, but we can and do sense the need for an approach that is more basically sound. If, as individuals, of us can live this better approach, it will certainly affect the survival of the whole race. Because if a small group can get the firm establishment of realities, they can create a tremendous influence, because these realities are what everybody hopes for, everybody longs for, and everybody believes in, even if they have been told not to believe. So we take each person, we say, now, inside of us, there is a governing power. A governing power that, if we give it a chance, will carry us with reasonable security through the days of our years. This is something that we are born with. And if by some circumstance our previous karma does not make this very obvious, then we must find the fact that an embodiment or an incarnation in which we are unable to control negative factors in our lives, this incarnation bears witness to unsolved problems of the past. It means that the person who has a disposition that is difficult, unpleasant, or unstable must work harder, because it is the evidence of previous mistakes. It is the evidence that this individual has lived by compromise for a number of embodiments. And finally, cash karma has caught up with him. And he has to, for his own survival, work that much harder to prove that he can conquer his own mistakes. He did not conquer them in the past, so they now appear sometimes as though unreasonable and unjust. But he must face them. Normally speaking, however, wherever a person is faced with a problem, a natural problem, he is also inwardly aware of the natural solution. He may not want that solution, he probably doesn't, but it's there. If this person is properly trained in childhood, then we may hope for better things. But the new generation, if it is not to be created into a team of robots, will have to start early to become aware of its own self-individuation. So in childhood, in early childhood, the child must receive the inspiration of constructive thought. We must all learn, whether we want to or not, that the little things on this planet have no permanent significance. The mistakes that we are making are just evidences of failure, and they will never win, and the wrong views will never succeed. That the actual problem will always be the same. Truth must survive and must finally conquer all forms of untruth, must ultimately become the basis of an enduring way of life. Nearly all nations were created by an effort to escape from the tyranny of some preceding power. After a while, the new nation becomes a tyrant in its own right. And so the miseries go on until we begin to search for the cause within people. Now, in the last 60 some odd years, I've known a lot of people. And I've worked with a good many of them in one way or another to try to help them to straighten out the problems of internal living. Most of these persons say are the 10 Commandments, that there is no way of breaking them successfully, that no scientist has ever been able to create something to take their place. And so are the teachings of Christ, the teachings of Buddha, the teachings of Pythagoras, of Plato, of Lao Tzu. All of these teachings are basic. There is not one of them that came from an academic source. They all came from a dedication of an individual internally enlightened to the service of his fellow men in trouble. Therefore, there's no evidence that great scientific achievements will ever take the place of the 10 Commandments, or can deny them, or can create a civilization that can endure without them. Yet today, to the most part, religion has become associated with these problems, has difficulty in surviving the pressure of science. The only way in which it has been accomplished at all is that religion itself has highly modified its own beliefs and goes very lightly onto the subjects of the 10 Commandments, allowing more and more freedom of the individual and the greater hope of vicarious attainment, that the individual will ultimately be saved, not because of his virtues, but because of his memberships. As long as this continues, we're not going to have much progress in that field, but the great intellectual group is well satisfied. Now, with the problem of trying to find out what to do, we find people, I've found them with very strange complexes as to what to do. One will tell you, yes, I do believe in the Ten Commandments. I believe in the Sermon on the Mount. I believe in the teachings of these great people. And I'd like to live them. But if I live them, I'm likely to be poor. Bad. Instead of being worried about being poor in spirit, they are worried about being poor in worldly goods. So we do the best we can considering the situations in which we find ourselves.
How then have we forgotten all these things? The only answer is that in waste of time, in the destruction of learned institutions, in the gradual decadence of the great temple mysteries, conquest, pillage, war, and destruction, many choice and valuable records were hopelessly destroyed. His own existence. And out of these long observations, which perhaps gradually evolved his concept of the seasons, came the calendar, a method of determining the periodic return of seasons, the eccentricities of the calendar, and many interesting details. The Egyptians, for example, had a calendar which corresponded with a circle, the fulfillment. Ancient man was terribly frightened by an eclipse of the sun because he thought an evil spirit was seeking to destroy the sun. And much of our doctrine of the dragon that ate the sun and other stories and fairy tales come from eclipse phenomena. Also, eclipse phenomena seems to have sustained the belief that there was an adversary or an evil power that wanted to destroy the sun. Men do not fully understand the meaning of the solar power, but he made representations of it in gold, and these were worn by the priests as the symbols of the fact that they served the sun. Most decorations, military or civil, such as the Croix de Guerre or the Légion d'honneur, were originally taken from sun medallions. We reward or honor the individual by bestowing a sun symbol or a rosette upon him. The halos around the heads and bodies of sanctified persons have gradually taken on sun symbolism attributes. These persons were radiant with spiritual powers, or with great light within themselves. For the royalty, for the emperor, the king, or the great person, was reserved also the solar coronet. A crown is nothing but a sun, surrounded by a burst of rays. And as time went on, apparently these rays got to be a little inconvenient, sticking out in all directions, so they were turned in to the top, forming the ducal coronet and the crowns of the kings of Europe as we know them today, like the great English crown of St. George. Then among Christian peoples, an orb and a cross were placed upon the top of the crown to symbolize the power of Christendom, and the crown became a radiant throne for the symbol of the Christian mystery itself. The sun, then, has always played this vital part. And we have had sun gods. Every religion, they have always been wonderful, radiant beings. And nearly always are the direct offspring of deity. They were the highest of the gods. The tragedies that came to the sun god, the tragedies that most affected mortals. When Balder the Beautiful, the sun god of the Nordic peoples, was slain with a missile arrow, all the world wept. And darkness descended, and the joy of God was destroyed. Apollo, sun god of the ancient Greek Helios, and he is the one who drove his shafts or rays of the body of Python, and caused the great serpent to be killed and thrown into a great ravine in the earth. And later upon the site of this ravine, and over the corrupting body of Python, was raised the shrine of Delphi. The sun god was the slayer of evil because he was the overcomer of darkness. He was always the thing that saved men from, and later in the place of the sun god itself came the sunlight symbol, the candle, the torch, the fire. These also dispelled darkness. They were protectors. And the little candle shining in darkness became the symbol of man's hope and of his faith. And later in great diffusion is preserved to us in the illuminations on the Christmas tree. The world tree with its lights is the symbol of all the candles lit from the great power of the sun. In India there was much philosophy upon the nature of the sun. And we could go into a great deal of abstract thinking relating to their knowledge of astronomy, which was profound, and upon which much of their theology is likewise based. But in round terms, because time is short, and as Hippocrates said, art is long, we can only make a summary of this situation. But let us accept what is generally demonstrable, namely that upon research we find ancient man venerated the sun as the visible symbol of an invisible power in space, as the light bearing witness to the light, that there was a light behind the light. Now remember, in the Greek, Helios, later the Latin Apollo, was not regarded as the source of the solar light. He carried on his arm a great shield, and in the center of this shield was a boss or knob. And our modern astronomical for the sun, a dot in a circle, is the shield of Helios, the god. And it was upon the surface of his shield that the sun god reflected the light of space. The ancients did not assume the sun to be the complete source of its own light. They assumed it to be a great focal point in space, which collected the great energies from the field of space and reflected them downward into a condition of space which we call matter. Therefore, the sun was suspended twixt space and matter, causing the energy of space to permeate all material things. It's an interesting and dramatic concept. And in their ancient arrangement of planets, the sun was placed in the middle orbit, with 3 planets below and 3 above, or rather 2 and the luminary below. Thus the sun was placed in the midst of things. It became an indicating symbol of spirit, of self, later of soul. It was that which represented finally also man, suspended between heaven and earth. It had numerous philosophical meanings, but wherever it appeared, it became an emblem of life and salvation, of redemption. The wonderful Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten created the sect or cult of Atonism, which was the worship of the solar globe, the rays ending in human hands, to raise up or to lift all things, because he had already discovered from the wisdom of his people the drawing power of the sun. That the sun raised water, took it into the sky to form clouds. Ancient man watched these things, and with his own quiet wisdom he knew. The Chinese philosophy tells us in absolutely perfect modern terms the phenomena of clouds, rainfall, and so on. These things were known, although we have forgotten that ancestors were so wise. Now the sun deity, having to a great measure become the symbol, passed through 3 paralleling cycles of apparently similar activities. These cycles are in their structure but different in time equation. By the great precessional motion, the sun seemed to reround the zodiac in 25,303 years. The sun seemed to progress through the lines of the zodiac, in complete circle every 12 months, causing what we know as the third cycle was its apparent motion around the earth, by which it achieved the mystery of the 12. These were the 3 cycles of the sun, 3 complete circles which it made of big magnitude. The middle of these cycles in their unity was the day, which consisted of dawn as one of its important points, that in the day, the dawn was its vernal equinox. Noon was its summer solstice. Sunset was its autumnal equinox. It was its winter solstice. Thus the sun, according to the Egyptians, rose every morning from the underworld, traveled across the sky, descended into the land of Tet, where it shone for all through the night for the souls of the dead in the underworld. Now, some of the old documents give us a peculiar little hint about this. They tell us, for example, one of the old manuscripts, that the people in the underworld lived upside down, walking around on their heads. That the Egyptians had already discovered that the so-called underworld was the other side of the earth. We do not know with certainty, but we do know that they had navigated as far as the Western Hemisphere. So that it's quite possible that the people walking around upside down were not creatures of mythology, belonging in some fantastic ghost realm, but simply the recognition of something that is factually true as far as we are concerned. In any event, the sun shone in the day on the world of the living and gleamed at night in the abode of the dead. The sun also had this secondary motion in which it went its great circle of the year. It was born on the 25th of December at the winter solstice. Its resurrection over winter was achieved at the vernal equinox. It was in the summer solstice, which occurred at that time in the sign of the then in the sign of Cancer, where we have it now, and was therefore enthroned as the Lion of the tribe of Judah, and also was seated upon the throne of lions, as told by the legends of King Solomon. And we know that Solomon is composed of 3 words: Sol, On, the name of the sun in 3 languages. All these different symbols. And then finally, at the autumnal equinox, the sun goes forth to meet the mystery of winter, where it is to finally meet its death. So the life of the sun, the annular life of the sun, from its birth to its death, became by degrees of the greatest significance to ancient man. And out of this sun going through the 12 signs of the zodiac each year came the story of the 12 labors of Hercules. For Hercules is a solar deity, as his name implies, and also the wonderful labors of Samson, for the word Samson in Hebrew means the sun man. That we can't escape these implications. There's nothing we can do about it. We know that at the summer solstice he carries away the gates of Gaza. We know also that when he slays the Nubian lion, he enters the sign of Leo. When he is taken into the herd, his hair is cut short, he is entering into the sign of Virgo the Virgin, which is the beginning of his decline torture, at which time, of course, his rays of his hair. These are cut off, and he loses his strength. But at the winter solstice, he pulls down the double columns of the house of the Philistines, and the old sun dies, making way for the new sun, which is to be born in the mystery of the winter solstice. As the old king dies and the new king is born, we remember the words that were spoken at the court of France. The king is dead. Long live the king. In that moment, the sun is born, the new sun. We represent it today when the season is right. But we think of the year as an infant being led in by Father Time, the old year. So old Father Time goes his way when the new year is born. These symbols have come down to us from remote antiquity. And always the old and the new labor together. And forever ancient Cronus is pulling out the golden hair of the solar maiden. It is a very interesting, profound symbolism, and upon it a great deal of religious material has been built. Now, in this development of the religion of the solar deity or the solar being, we know that it goes through the signs that this again becomes Sindad, the sailor, whose adventures are nothing more or less than the 12 labors of Hercules, very thinly veiled. They are also the labors of all the heroes, from the heroes of fairy tale to the great epic heroes. We know that always Siegfried is the sun lad, or the sun hero, who slays the dragon with the enchanted sword Noton. We know also that Siegfried, like all the solar heroes, finally dies, and in the great immolation scene of the Götterdämmerung, he is burned upon the funeral pyre. But out of the rising of the great waters at night, the Rhine or the ocean, there comes a new heaven and a new earth, and the gods go away, and the new gods and the new world come into being. Thus always this symbolism lives, making for us a wonderful drama. A drama we find in India in the story of Rama. There's manner also in China, the Yellow Emperor. Japan is the only country in the world of importance that made the sun god a goddess. It is the one ancient people that made the solar deity feminine and the lunar deity masculine. Just why and how, again, is one of the great questions, but in any event, Amaterasu or Mikami, the goddess of the sun, is represented in Japanese philosophy by the metal mirror, the perfectly plain mirror that is hung over the gates of the Shinto temple.
Divine masculine and divine feminine, because I know it's mostly you up in here, booski. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Am I tripping or not, tarot? My name is Cockfrost, but you can call me the Ghetto Nun. So divine masculine, I am here to do the what the fuck is up with you reading for the next 7 days. I do cuss in my readings and give no fucks about it, so if you do, please get the fuck on. I do start with my cards upright in my deck. I don't believe in starting out with reversals because that's some bullshit. Also, I did pre-shuffle, but I did not lay any cards down just yet. We don't do it together. Please keep in mind this may or may not resonate with every single divine masculine. Get no fit nuts. Info for private readings will be below the video. Please take the time to check out our community board. It's like the farmers market for all the nuns and high priests, where they have businesses, purposes, gifts, etc., etc. Posted. If you'd like to submit your business for the bulletin board, please check the info in the description box below the video. If you find that the content is not for you, please look for the nearest exit mark. Get the fuck on. Watch your head on the way out. Hit the alley. You'll be back into London. Thank you to everyone for all the bookings, donations, likes, subscribes, comments, shares, purchases to my website, and pledges to my Patreon. I love you. It's really late when I'm recording this, so I'm probably gonna be a little goofy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I took a long ass nap and shit. Anyway, what's up, divine masculine, Blueski? What's going on with you? Let's see. I don't have any intuitive messages for you right now. I kept hearing the song 50 Bitches Deep, but I don't know if that's for you. Them never acting shitty bitches. Them rich bitches. Them tattoo on the titty bitches. And I don't know if that's, I don't think they talking about you, so I don't know what that song is for, but I kept hearing that when I was getting ready for your reading, so I don't know. Throwback. Okay. Give me some messages for divine masculine. Yeah, she keep coming out, G. I'm telling you, disgusted face lady. Who is this woman? She in divine feminine shit and she in your shit. So she damn sure connected to both of y'all, okay? Or this is how you feel about someone feels this way about you. Yeah, maybe you don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. This is like sad face. You may be having some money issues right now, divine masculine. Issues with business, work, or something. With relationship. I see shit with baby mamas, regular mamas, all type of shit. I feel like some people may be disappointed in you right now, divine masculine, are looking at you with stank face. That's what this is. In the next 7 days. Let's see why. Maybe that's what I was hearing, the 50 bitches deep. So maybe it's gonna be all just a whole row of women that just come out. I don't know. Feminine kind of has the same thing. She had disgusted face lady with surprise lady. Let's see. Give me another one. Oh no, you got the 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Lovers card. So somebody's disgusted at this goes a couple ways. This is somebody disgusted at a connection or a disgusting connection you're in, right? Someone thinks this way, or you really are in a disgusting connection. But this is also the 6 of Cups. So this could be family members disgusted with something, friends, everybody. Okay, this is also the Lovers card. So this is a divine counterpart that may be looking at you disgusting, or someone may be disgusted with you as a I don't know, but somebody's walking away. Also, because that's also the 8 of Cups when you add all those cups up. So somebody's so disgusted that they leave, like ew, basically, in the next 7 days. Somebody got a problem out here. Yeah, but they were playing games. You may find out how somebody really gets the fuck down, and somebody finds out how you really get down, and it's disgusting. This is like playing mind games with somebody, with family, friends, lovers, everybody and shit. Motherfuckers leaving somebody, G. Okay, they're disgusting with someone. Or you're part of this group of people that's leaving someone or separating from someone. But who has a face like this towards a teddy bear? Something's off. Okay, or someone doesn't like love. Yes, that's what they said. Someone around you is disgusted at love. So they don't like when people are in love, feel love, find love, love what they do. Somebody gets like mad at that. Like, ew. I don't know why they keep saying it like that, but they do. Give me another one. Damn it. Oh, y'all. One, please. Okay. Look, I told you another face was going to come out. Surprise face. So, shit, is this you? Someone's disgusted. That's what this is. I'm still trying to figure this out. You're leaving something, divine masculine. I don't know what it is. It could be a number of things. I mean, shit, it's a lot of purging going on right now, even deeper than what we originally all thought before, right? This is friends, families, lovers, sexual partners, and all this. Maybe you found love, maybe you didn't, or you found yourself, or you found something. I feel like, or shit, you found something out. Maybe you found out something about a disgusting bitch. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, wow, bitch. Because this is like, I'm still leaving. This is like kind of loving on yourself, but I feel like there's someone else around. 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Lovers. I feel like it's multiple relationships going on. Okay. With people, at least, I mean, shit, it felt like a third party, but shit, it could be more than that, is what it's, I mean, that's what it's saying. It's not funny, but shit. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you see, or someone sees in you, or something like that, and they don't like what they see. A woman may not like what she's seeing right now in regards to you and some connection, or where you're going, where you're headed, or someone is yeah, basically, man, I'm trying to clean that shit up, bro. I can't. That's what this is. Yeah, someone gets anxiety when they see you happy. Someone knows you may be going towards something, or someone, or someplace that makes you happy, and it's making somebody sick to their stomach. That's what the fuck this is. Yeah, man. I also see disgusting sex out here. Some porn, okay? So I don't know. Somebody may catch you watching something that's just like, ew. Yeah, they keep saying ew. So I don't know. I don't say that, okay? Not that much, at least. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's one of your 50 bitches. I don't know. Let's move on. Yeah, somebody out here gets caught watching gay porn. That's what this is. It is. Or some man catches two women together. It's something about two or something, okay? Two of the same sex or something, okay? I don't know if somebody catch somebody actually in the act or watching this, or somebody, I don't know, okay? Ooh-wee. This early, huh? Well, this late, but I mean this early in the reading. Put some old disgusting woman. Why is she so disgusted? The queen bee. Oh shit, divine feminine. Here we go. Now, divine feminine, this could be you disgusted at someone or someone disgusted at you, divine feminine. I will find out, girl, but that's what this is. This is like the Empress energy, or this could be somebody baby mama or mama or like wife or some shit like that. Somebody is like got scrunched up, fuck you bitch face. They do. Okay? Either at someone or this is like the face they have. Yeah, I feel like they have this face towards somebody. Somebody is watching someone and they don't like what they see here, divine masculine, okay? I feel like you have connected with someone, a divine feminine. That's what this says. Or divine feminine, you have connected with the divine masculine. 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups, lovers card here. With the queen bee, yes, G. That's what this is. And someone's leaving someone and going towards someone. Divine masculine, you may be surprised to find out who the fucking queen bee is. Maybe it's not disgusting face. I feel like this queen bee represents 2 people or multiple women in your life. And I feel like these women have a problem with the queen bee. You know what I mean? Like the real one and shit. Whoever that is to you. Okay? So it doesn't mean that the queen bee is necessarily a romantic person. The queen bee could be your mama. And everybody got a problem with your mama. The queen bee could be your sister. Yeah, everybody got a problem with you. It's some shit like that. Okay? It doesn't mean that is, I mean, I just feel like it's a divine feminine, period, whoever it is. But I feel like you're surprised at something. People are surprised that you're going towards this person, or you're choosing this, or you're sticking up for this, or some shit like that. Yeah, mermaid's love. Tell you. You may feel it slipping away. Oh, yeah, 50 bitches. B for bitches. I'm telling you, it's a lot of women mad, disgusted, or something. I'm telling you, maybe they all felt like they had no, maybe they do. I don't know. This feels like a bunch of women. It could be men that feel like they have a title or they all wanted one. And I feel like you choose somebody or you go towards somebody and it lets a lot of people know. Or divine feminine, this is you. You could have chose a divine masculine or chose something. And it lets a lot of people know what's up. And I feel like a lot of people are upset at that shit. You could have just fucking chose yourself, bitch. On some real shit. Not you divine masculine on the bitch part, but talking to divine feminine. But divine masculine shit, right? You could have just chose yourself, G. And people are mad. You know what I mean? Basically. Some of y'all are going to be surprised that a baby's mother or a mom or some shit like that. Or some shit like that. Or that somebody leaves. Somebody may leave you, divine masculine. Like someone's just so disgusted, but I feel like it's not I mean, they can go and shit. But it makes me feel like the reason why they're leaving, it's not like you did. I mean, how can I word this? I feel like you did do something, but it's like awakening. You know what I mean? That it may have triggered something, you know? And it's like, now you're a disgusting piece of shit. You know, like this type of shit. But anyway, let's move on. Somebody's listening to Stevie Wonder, or someone will be going to a wedding, or someone's backing out of a wedding here. I'm hearing ribbon in the sky, but with 8 of Cups. So that's somebody leaving. You know, they always play that shit at a wedding, at least a black one. They do. This like a bride standing there like, what the fuck? All her bridesmaids, all the little bees and shit all scattering, don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah, I see somebody backing out of a wedding. This could be a bunch of brides. Maybe it's 50 bitches, 50 bridesmaids. I don't know. But somebody gonna mad at you, the divine masculine, okay? That's what this is. Somebody's mama. I feel like you used to that though, as far as people being mad at you and shit. But for real though, this time. Yeah. Or someone pulls out of a wedding or an engagement with you, divine masculine. But I do see that here. Put something on on this teddy bear. 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups, lovely. All is connected. Yeah, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, Lovers. So it's some shit, Divine Feminine. You had Olivia Pope, which was the scandal, right? Which was all this like intricate shit going on. Same thing, shit. We here with you, Divine Masculine. Two of Cups, it's like friends, family, divine counterparts, all shit. I don't know. It's all connected some type of way. Something may be feeling real odd and weird right now. It's a weird fucking time. I ain't gonna lie. Divine Masculine. It really, really is. I don't know what it was. Some reader I was watching that was saying like they didn't know like if you know what I mean, like we had come into contact with aliens and shit. But at first I laughed, right? But when you think of it, allegedly, right? They claim that those UFOs and shit, that's not what that shit is. But you notice our gifts been enhancing and shit like a motherfucker. G, like a motherfucker. That's the only thing I can think of that's been different worldly. You know what I mean? That's been going on and shit. I don't know. Okay, all is connected and shit. Something with the divine feminine connected. Divine feminine, your powers may be getting a lot stronger. I've noticed, not even in regards to myself, but just in tarot land, period and shit. Like you bitches on fire and shit. For real. Like it's crazy. I don't know what the fuck going on. Okay, it's a mass awakening going on, and I guess these are humans. You know what I mean? This feel like humans that are disgusted and surprised. Like the X-Men are rising. That's what this feels like too. So shit, maybe you're going to your soul tribe, Divine Masculine, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, lovers, connected with like-minded people that think like you. You know, this type of shit. That's what this is. But this is your reading, and it says you are connecting with the divine feminine here. Okay. Damn, look, somebody hugging on to your balls though. But my dad is the CEO and owner of the Scallion Garden, and yeah, shit. Somebody don't listen, Linda. Divine Masculine, you may not realize your destiny is connected to someone, something like you've been used to doing. And I know this feeling, G. I feel like it's a collective energy right now where everybody's like realizing like where I am or what I thought I was connected to, you know what I mean, was gonna like propel me forward. And I'm realizing that's not what it is. That's not where it is. It's fucking mind blowing, G. So take all the time you need to process that shit, because I totally feel you, because this is the shit we've been holding on to all our life and shit. This tradition, this family, this is jobs, this is neighborhoods where we've been living. It's like that's all the fuck I know and shit. It's like you may be holding on to something real tight, but it's because you know it can't go with you. Because I don't feel like you hold on to this shit. It looks like this bitch flicking this shit off. It look like this bitch roll up a booger, flick that motherfucker. And that's what it looked like. So I don't feel like you really hang out with this or stay in this, but I feel like either you or someone else are holding on to something. I feel like it's all of us doing that shit to the past. Whatever it is, it could just be how things used to be. I mean, it's obvious is that the shit's changing, G. Everybody can tell. You know what I mean? The signs are all around us and shit. All is connected. This feels like soul tribe energy out here, divine masculine, divine feminine. In the next 7 days, somebody holding on to material shit like a motherfucker. Okay? That's what this is too. It's a woman out here with you, divine masculine, for money. I feel like you know this already. That's what this is. There's somebody that, not to be like that, but there's somebody that really don't like you, or don't really, you know what I mean, like look at you like this and shit, but they stay with you because your dad, your mom, or somebody, or you are the owner of the Scallion Garden, and that's how the fuck this come up, G. All is connected. You know that though. You got that message about this shit a long time ago. Yeah, you just wasn't taking heed to it. It just kind of went along with the shit and kept quiet, but you know what's up, okay? So maybe you're leaving this situation or leaving this people, leaving these jobs. I feel like people been like kind of taking advantage of you, divine masculine, divine feminine, both of y'all, really. That's what this is. What's go back to this Queen Bee. I want one here. Who is this specifically? White Rose of Hope with weeds and flowers. There's somebody that smoke weed all day. I mean, the song is every day, right? But there's somebody that changed the motherfucking words and shit. Yeah, there's somebody just sitting around and dumb shit. So no, divine feminine, this probably ain't you. Maybe you've been hoping divine feminine, you know what I mean? That you in this divine masculine or divine masculine, you could just be coming up in this divine feminine energy, hoping that you connect with somebody. But I feel like this ain't. I don't feel like this divine feminine. This somebody that just kind of sit around and hope that shit just lasts forever. You know what I mean? Like somebody that just hopes like the well never runs dry. They never go fetch water for themselves. They never go look for another fucking well. Like they don't want to contribute nothing. There's somebody just sit around on their ass all day. Divine masculine shit. I don't know if this you or not, but somebody just sit around and smoke weed all motherfucking day. And I believe in smoking this shit every day, even a few motherfucking times a day. But all shit. That's whoever this is. Somebody's name is Mariah. Yeah, divine masculine. Somebody is upset that you're connected with yourself, someone, but it's a divine connection of some sort. So this could be a divine friendship, Two of Cups, divine, you know what I mean? Just soulmate, Six of Cups, divine feminine, divine masculine, Lovers card. Someone's like really mad at you, G. For real. It's the disgusted face. If disgusted face wasn't here, I'd be like, oh wow, somebody really hopes, you know what I mean? There's someone in your life that really hopes you get to connect with the love of your life. And you know what I mean? You're gonna be surprised at the support, but disgusted face fuck all that shit up. So somebody could be acting like that, but deep down they feel disgusted. I feel like someone puts on a front divine masculine, like they care or something, or like they're really around for the right reasons, or you're doing this. And I feel like it's not true. I feel like that's why you or someone else is being connected with a divine purpose, a divine counterpart, a divine soulmate, to see like what something really is. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like you've been around people that never say, oh, good job, divine masculine. You did it. You know what I mean? Like, but you're not looking for it, but it's like, well, I ain't never heard it, so I wouldn't know to look for some shit I ain't never heard, right? And then you go out into get a job and shit, and all these people at your job are like, man, you are the best, man. I know your face so proud of you and all the shit you're doing. You're like, actually, no, I've never heard that. I've never, you know what I mean? It's like this type of shit. Like, there's something that you're going to realize within yourself that you never knew, but it's a good thing. But I feel like some people around you are disgusted to know that you're finding out who you are, or that you're actually as great as you are, or whoever the fuck this is, okay? In the next 7 days. Put something on being surprised here. You see something for sure. By the end of the 7 days, you see something. You're able to connect the dots by the middle of the week, but by the end of the week, you're going to be surprised. The beginning of the 7 days, dude, I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's gonna be a little difficult. So I don't know if the 50 bitches deep is on you, but it's gonna be a lot of women upset at you, or pulling on your energy, or feminine energy, period. Let's say that. Upset with you, mad at you, disgusted at you, and like taking a lot from you. You're gonna figure out why in the middle of the week, and then we're gonna see what happens after you. Put something on surprise face, man. Some of you guys are gonna like loosen up, divine masculine. I see you loosening up. Like, not to, I don't know if you rigid and shit, but it says you're gonna loosen up. Like, chill, G. Abracadabra. Yeah, something blow you motherfucking mind, G. It blow you mind. It does. I knew it. It's like the magician. Abracadabra. I create what I speak in Hebrew. Yes, G. Some of you guys can speak Hebrew, or you're in, or something like that, learning Hebrew language or some shit like that. But yes, that's what that is. I also see magicians, entertainers, athletes, like a lot of entertainment people surprised. I don't know why yet, but that's what this says. Surprised how something is connected, how someone is connected, or you're connected to your craft. For entertainers, artists, and shit like that, I feel like you find something, like find out how something is connected to you in regards to how you do something. Or shit, whatever it is. Some of y'all ain't gonna be happy with the shit. You're gonna separate from whatever it is, and you're gonna realize it's been affecting you in a negative way. Like, you know what I mean? And once you separate from this person, place, or thing, your music or whatever the fuck it is you do, acting, your bowling, your writing, or whatever, you're dancing, all that shit's gonna pick up. It is. You're gonna be surprised like a motherfucker. Somebody around, basically, divine masculine, divine feminine, what I'm picking up is somebody's gonna be upset and disgusted that you figure out it's motherfucking gas, or it's this job, or it's this fucking food, and you know what I mean? Or it's not, well, not that food can get upset, but it's a person though. So it's like the restaurant realizes, you know what I mean, that you figure out they've been skeeting in your shit. You know what I mean? And you like, that's why my tummy been hurting, right? They get mad at you for figuring shit out. It's like this. You know what I mean? But you start feeling better and performing better. Your tummy don't hurt. And you surprised that that's what the fuck was. I'm telling you. It's like a shock or something about something.
Hello, Capricorn. Welcome back, Wolfpack, my beautiful soul tribe. I hope you're all doing well. This is Debs from Spirit Wolf Tarot here with your love bonus reading. This is your extra video to say thank you for all of your likes, your shares, your comments. You had the highest views and the highest likes, so thank you so much. So we've got Island Time Wellness, we have Psychic Tarot, we have Yin Yang Oracle, which is a new one, and we have Romance Angels. So I feel like we'll start with the Romance Angels. Can't wait to try these out to see how well they do, what messages we get from them. All right, Capricorn, what do we have in love for all Capricorns? Sun, moon, and rising. Oh, Capricorn, I did a who's coming in, all signs. I will put that at the end of this video, and you'll be able to click that link. So we have first card out is Express Your Love, Capricorn. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Some of you may have met your person. Oh wow, someone's having a very honest discussion with each other about how they feel. Oh wow. Oh my goodness, on the bottom is wedding. This situation involves marriage. Could you be going on to, you know, the whole 9 yards here? No, I'll just get two more, maybe two more cards, Capricorn. Oh, don't need two shuffles. There we go. We have let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. Wow. Oh, on the bottom, honeymoon and wedding. Yeah, it wants to come out, doesn't it? So let's pop that there. Capricorn, very soon I feel like somebody is going to express how they feel. There's going to be a conversation between the both of you, and it is going to lead to this wedding, honeymoon. You could be spending holiday time together. When's the next holiday? Easter time, summertime, depending on each timeline's different and all this. But yes, wow. You could meet at a wedding, at a friend's wedding. This person could be in your friend's circle. I feel like you already know them with the cards that have come out. We've got I like you. I like you, someone likes you. Romance is bloom. Fun flirting and wanting to date. Oh, lightning. Sudden change. Surprise. This could be surprise. Somebody could be about to tell you something that you weren't expecting, and they have feelings. Oh my goodness. Transformation, upheaval, and transformation. Okay, right. Let's get some more Capricorn in love. What's coming in? Oh, we've got that boat, honeymoon. Receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. So you move on from something or someone, or traveling. We have a boat, we have sunglasses. Somebody could be going overseas. I know that's not what it says, but we've got honeymoon, we've got boat, and we've got sunglasses. My goodness. Watching, stalking. What? Focusing out, gaslighting, perception. No, be careful. Okay. Somebody could be watching you. And okay, we'll get
Ain't nothing new.
healthy choices here as well fell out. So making healthy choices. So there could be a choice here. All right, you'll know who this person is, Capricorn. Okay. Making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier, do all those things. Give yourself some self-love, some self-care. There is somebody still watching you, and I feel like this person, look at this, they're still looking at your photos. I do think that's over. There's someone in your life still missing you, being very nostalgic, but it's time to make new memories and move on. We have the moving on card, and this person is a bit of a gaslighter. Yeah, I'm going to pull one more for the new person. We've got I like you. We've got dating and making healthy choices, which I do believe that you will make. You know, every choice is yours, of course. But yeah. Oh my goodness, there's that look. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. There we go, expressing love. Oh, what's going on? Capricorn. So we've got express love here. Heart-to-heart conversations, love calls. But what's going on here? Making them aware that you need to make healthier choices. There could be more than one person here that there is to choose from. Make sure you make the right choice. I'm sure you will. Of course, the choice is yours, obviously. Right, let's get some psychic tarot. Capricorn, I am going through some kind of transformation myself at the minute. Transformation. We probably all are, actually, especially as Pluto is the card of transformation and destruction. But I feel like I need to do different things on this channel. I hope you enjoy the new content that I'm putting out. We've got authority. Oh, that's the Emperor. That's somebody's taken the lead, or maybe somebody's about to take action. Oh my goodness. And then love begins, and fertility is the Empress. We've got the Emperor and the Empress. Oh my goodness, this is a divine counterpart. Oh my goodness, victory and success. Someone's coming towards you, and we'll get more. One more. I'm getting all excited. I forgot what I was talking about there. Right, okay. So yes, I'm doing different things on the channel. I hope you enjoy it. And for my Capricorns, you know, my soul tribe, I am going to still do Capricorn readings. I'm going to call it something like Capricorner or Capcorner. It's something just for you. If you've got any ideas of what to call it, you know, for you, Capricorn something or Capricorn ones, let me know what your favorite is, and I'll go with that. So yeah, we'll do weekly Capricorn, solar plexus chakra. We'll do a weekly Capricorn, and yes. Ooh, moving on is on the bottom. What's this one? Suffering in silence. Awareness, the Magician, suffering in silence and moving on. That makes me, I know I don't read upside down cards generally, but to me that is just saying that you're aware that you need to move on and you're not suffering in silence any longer. That's for somebody moving on, not suffering in silence. You are speaking up, or somebody's speaking up. Okay, somebody's aware of how they feel and they are speaking up. They're no longer suffering in silence. This could be you, Capricorn. You could be somewhere you don't want to be and you're not suffering in silence any longer. You're moving on. Okay, that's the Six of Swords. All right, so oh my goodness, we have the Emperor. We have this new beginning in love. We have the Empress. This is my counterpart, as you probably already know. This is going to end in a marriage. There is victory and success in this relationship, in this new beginning in love. I don't think you're expecting it, because it is coming as a shock, as a surprise. You know, expect the unexpected here with that lightning bolt. Somebody really likes you and they want to come forward and they want to have a chat. This love call, we've had this before, Capricorn. It's still there, it's still coming. Can I just say, with this solar plexus here as well, it's just going to bring so much excitement, so much energy. It's almost like a transformation. You're going from maybe feeling meh, and then you're going to go on to, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about the future. It's a turnaround. This desire, it's your personal energy, and you're going to get increased enthusiasm. If not yet, it's on its way. My goodness. So this solar plexus, it's life force energy, and you're going to feel so much excitement. I'm so excited for you. Right, let's get this new deck. All right. This new deck. On the bottom here, I've just looked down. I don't remember giving you this, but there's healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. Somebody's healing from something or someone here, and this is what's coming in to help heal. It's a new emotional beginning. Oh my goodness, we've got a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Look at the progression. Okay, let's see what the yin yang oracle have. See how these work with this. Oh my goodness, the card that fell out, union. Oh my goodness, what on the bottom is transcendence and unity. Capricorn. Oh, I'm so excited. Renewal. There's a spark. Oh my goodness. Right. Shadow side, dark night of the moon. Someone's done some shadow work. This could be you. This could be your person coming in. Hang on a second. I'm just going to move this down so you can see what's coming in. There we go. We'll do some more shuffles and see what comes out, shall we? So here we are. We have a union, which is unity, union, spark. Oh my goodness. We have, I'm just finishing the shuffle. Dreams, messages. You could be getting messages in your dreams. This could be such a strong connection, and you are, you know it's coming. I feel like you know it's coming. Your guides, your angels may be sending you messages in dream state. Wow. Any more for Capricorn in love? Let me tell them something good. Oh, is that a song? Tell them something good. Somebody has regrets though. That could be the person who is still watching you, thinking about you. They've got memories and nostalgia. Any more for Capricorn in love? Tell me about Capricorn in love. Okay, what's this one here? Oh my goodness. So double confirmation that this is unexpected. There may be a bit of a storm, but my goodness, you don't see this coming. We have a breakthrough here. Oh my goodness. A breakthrough in love, Capricorn. That one wanted to pop out. Which one is that? Spring. Oh my goodness, there's the seeds in spring. By spring, you should know who this is. Okay? Well, Capricorn, do remember, oh my goodness, we have compassion and nurture. But we also have guilt and sabotage. This comes out a lot for us, Capricorns, doesn't it? We get in our own heads. This one come out too. Okay, and this one, regret, repression, thoughts, isolating, guilt, sabotage. Now, this could be the other person who's thinking about you. That could be their energy. However, I know us as a Capricorn, myself, we sabotage sometimes. We get in our own head, we overthink, we overanalyze everything. This is too good, this is that, this is the other, what if this, what if that, and what if, you know, what if nothing? What if it actually works? What if you fall in love, and what if everything's fine? Yes, just beware of these thoughts coming into your head, okay, and then get rid of them straight away. Because if you think it's going to happen, it'll happen, because it'll be like like a manifestation. You'll manifest it and it'll bring it in. Oh, look at this on the bottom. Attraction, hot, and Mars, such a strong attraction. The Emperor, the Empress. I don't know what to say. I'm so glad. I was a little bit dubious about getting these cards because I've never used them. So I didn't know how well they were going to work with what. But I'm so glad I used these. There is such a nurturing, compassionate person coming in. There's a breakthrough in love, and I feel like there's a breakthrough in springtime. We're nearly there. It's February. It's the end of February almost. By the way, if you'd like a free reading and you'd like to be in with a chance of free reading, hang on, wait, let's talk properly. All you have to do is be a subscriber and comment down below to be in with a chance to go into the draw. All right. If any of you are thinking about getting a reading, my prices are staying low until the end of February, so get in quick if that's what you would like to do anyway. Get it while it's at a lower cost. All right. Capricorn, I don't feel like I've got anything else to give you here. This is just a beautiful reading. There's a divine counterpart. I feel like you're not going to expect this coming in, but there's going to be a spark. Look at this spark of excitement here. It just is, oh my goodness. Let me know. Are you getting...
Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to the Tarot Room. My name is Robin, and Cappy, today we're going to do a reading about the person on your mind. So get comfy, get cozy. Let's talk about the person you're thinking about the most. Let's see what they're thinking and feeling about you, what you can, and where you guys will be in a month. Spirit guide, the person Capricorn's thinking about is the golden mirror. So self-absorbed. Oh, that's not as good as I thought it was. Narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. Interesting. Okay, let's see if that's what they're thinking about you. That's their energy. That's their past energy. What is this about the person on Capricorn's mind here? I want to say, how are they thinking and feeling about Cappy? Wow, Cap. We have the Hermit. We have the Ten of Swords. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Three of Swords. Person's going, okay, there's the Empress. There you are. Okay, and what else we got? Capricorn, for those of you who are interested in a reading. So if you want one, the link is in the description box below. Six of Swords. Death and rebirth in reverse. The Two of Swords and the Devil. There you are. There's a lot going on in this reading, but there's a lot of negative energy surrounding your person here. The Hermit tells me your person's quiet. There might not be a lot of talking between the two of you. There might not be a lot of communication. There might be withdrawal. They might have ghosted you. Maybe you ghosted them. But I can't see you ghosting them because you're thinking about them. Maybe you are. I don't know. But there's a lack of talking. The Ten of Swords is a healing. The Seven of Swords is a lying. And Three of Swords is hurt. This is their energy for you. What is the Ten? There's been some kind of